thoughts on the BYU game last week? Defense gave up a lot of big plays. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think anytime you have a game like that, it's obviously kind of tough. Giving away at ended, defense could have made a couple more stops because at the end of the day, if they didn't score any more points, then they wouldn't have won the game. So we take that as a defense with a little bit of pride. Full team, team loss, team wins together, and we lose together. So tough game, but learn from it. We did a lot of good things, so take the good things. And build on the things that we need to work on a little bit more in that game. So learn it, take it as a lesson.
You're coming off a loss. You guys don't get to play this week. You have to wait a whole other week. How do you kind of stay locked in, make sure you're not dwelling on the game, and how do you try to instill that with your teammates?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest challenge. Obviously you want to get the taste out your mouth as fast as possible. And going against each other isn't the best outlet to do that. But just getting a chance to really evaluate. What do I need to work on personally? What do we need to work on as a unit in a safety room? What do we need to work on as a unit on the defense? Special teams, like so many aspects and facets of the game. So really just trying to hone in and focus on yourself is kind of the biggest thing. Obviously, you want to put better stuff on tape. So we got practices to do that. But, obviously we probably won't get this taste out of our mouth until next week, Saturday when we play TCU.
How do you evaluate what the defense has done through 3 games and then also knowing that your biggest challenges and the obstacles you're going to face are still ahead?
Yeah, I think we take kind of what we did and we're confident in who we are as a defense. We've done a lot of good things over the first 3 games. I would say consistency is probably our biggest thing and really starting off fast. That was a big point of emphasis for us kind of throughout training camp. Some practices we might start a little bit slower than others and have to take a little bit to get warmed up, get acclimated. And so for us, kind of we want to set the tempo off strong, start off strong, come out fast, come out locked in, and really just be consistent throughout the whole game to play our best game because we feel like we haven't done that yet.
What's it like working with Coach Simons, as the defensive coordinator, but also your safeties coach? How much pressure does he put on you guys to keep that level of consistency that he desires?
Yeah, I would say it's I think he looks to us to, as the defense goes, we should go as safeties in the back end. We're, a talented group, have a lot of veteran guys in there and guys that's played a lot of snaps. So the better we play, usually, the better the defense is in terms of communication, in terms of getting aligned, all of those types of things. And as a defensive coordinator, that's huge for him, making sure everybody's set up and doing their jobs. And so it's great to be with him. He gives us a lot of formation tendencies, gives us a lot of alerts, things to look for from opposing offenses. And so if you're, a cerebral football player and, want to soak it up and get everything that you can, he's a great coach for you.
Kind of going off that, I know you weren't here his first year, but there were still some struggles on defense that you guys obviously cleaned up in a big way last year. Just what's it been like as he's really put his fingerprint on this defense and, putting SMU on the map as a defensive football team?
Yeah, I think for us, he wants us to just, play loose, play fast, and understand your assignment. It's, kind of easier said than done. Obviously, we have a lot of talented guys brought in. They did a great job in, recruiting high school guys that came in and contributing. Brandon Booker is one of the younger guys that's, doing a really great job on special teams. Coach Crum's done a great job with him. Brandon Miazano is another guy on special teams. And, I think it's a lot of great talent to what they have brought in, and also the leadership that, guys like Kobe Wilson, Amal Walker, who's been in Coach Simon's defense for, a long time. Elijah Roberts taking a big jump in his leadership. Jared and Tank being able to buy in and listen, to the coaching of Coach Tibbs, and Zay and Ahmad in the back end that's doing a great job, and Cross, helping lead in that corner room. So I think he's done a great job of putting players in positions to, be themselves and be the most effective version of themselves.
Any words for Preston this week? Obviously facing some adversity. Just I know that you guys are close. You talk to him much.
Yeah, so that's my brother. Obviously, supporting whatever decision Coach Lashley makes, and the team is supporting it as well. So we're all ready to really just move forward, continue to look towards the future. I told Preston, like my dad had told me kind of a long time ago when I was dealing with some adversity myself, was never lose sight of the goal, right? So whatever your goal is, whatever the situation, whatever the circumstances are that's going on, you still have your goals, and everything is still attainable to reach, for yourself. And so I told him, don't lose sight of that. Continue to, stay looking towards your goal. Everybody on the team still loves you. Everybody on the team supports you, and we're here for him. And so same thing with Kevin. Like, we're here for Kevin, we're here for Preston. So just looking forward to, playing, getting this sour taste out of our mouths from last game, and moving forward.
What are your impressions of Kevin as a guy? Who is he like, or what is he like around just the players?
Yeah, I would say he's a little mild-mannered in front of a group, and then the closer you talk to him and the more you spend time with him, he's very, very goofy. But he wants to have like that tough guy or cool guy persona, walking around in front of a group. So it kind of took me this past summer to really get to know him on a more personal level. And he's a jokester. Hangs out with RJ, Maryland, and Isaiah Smith, and all of that. When all of them are together, it's trouble around. So he's a really good guy, really talented quarterback, can make all the throws, extend plays, put pressure on the defense. So he's a great guy, great quarterback, has grown into a leader this offseason, and so I'm just excited to see him do his thing.
Just what have you seen as the defense, forcing 3 turnovers each of the last 2 weeks? Just what have you seen that's kind of made those possible?
Yeah, I think last year we did a good job of getting off the field on third down, but we didn't do, and getting after the quarterback, but we didn't do a great job of getting turnovers and generating turnovers. And so that was a point of emphasis for us throughout the summer, throughout the spring, of really focusing on whenever a quarterback gives us the opportunity, we have to maximize it in terms of if that's an interception, if that's a strip sack, if that's a forced fumble, really maximizing. And the game is all about the football at the end of the day. And so really being intentional about trying to maximize those opportunities, not dropping interceptions, not failing to get an attempt at a punch out. Elijah Roberts did a great job last game of getting a strip and even falling on it. Kobe getting the tip interception. Corey last week with a crazy play of tipping it. I didn't even know he tipped it and caught it to himself. I thought somebody else tipped it, but he tipped it and then had the audacity to locate it, track it, and then catch it. We give him a hard time. He got boomed pretty bad by one of the tight ends, so we give him a hard time about that. But really just being intentional about maximizing our opportunities when the ball is around us is kind of how we're approaching it.
In today's college football, it just seems like there's a lot of parity, upsets and teams not showing up, so to speak, when they're heavily favored across the country. How hard is it to stay focused in today's college football, like with NIL and portal and all sorts of external factors? Yeah,
I think this is a crazy time to be in college football. There's a lot of distractions, there's a lot of pressure, external pressure. You got social media, you got all these people telling you how you're supposed to play and how gambling is huge. I saw a tweet of the Auburn quarterback saying that he was getting Venmo requests for money. So it's a crazy time in college football. It's a lot of external things, and so really trying to stay focused on what you need to do individually, but also what your role is within the team is really kind of how you can stay focused. I think for us, we've done a great job of trying to block out the external noise. It's a lot of upsets, like you talked about. College football I think this is the most balanced season I think I've seen throughout 3 weeks. Of every team is talented. You got guys transferring from Power 4 programs to other programs, and even guys that were 2-star, 3-stars that just get to a scheme and they really are excelling at a high level. And so I think it's a really talented season for college football, and the records and upsets have shown that, and close games have shown that. And so I think just focusing on ourselves, locking into whatever your role might be, is kind of the best way to block out all the external noise.